Hey guys, Steve here, the SCPA weather forecast. It's going to go over some details regarding the marginal event tomorrow. Always a tricky situation with a changeover. Basically, it comes down to how fast does the cold air rush in versus is there still any precipitation left? These things can swing either side of the fence. I've seen them where the front gets held up and what's forecasted as a coating 10 inches of snow turns into 3 to 5 inches of snow. I've also seen it where it's forecasted 3 to 5 inches of snow turns into a coating 10 inches of snow. So another tricky scenario. What we're looking at here is the current temperatures. I just checked my weather station. I'm at 41 here in New York with a dew point of 31. Relative humidity is around 70%. Not good for the wet bulb temperature for when precipitation starts. It probably drop a couple degrees. But as in doing so, this cold air is coming in. Let's go to another map here. I'll show you the current wind situation and front. So here is the leading edge of the colder air. And if we go back here, it could be depicted by this right here. You're noticing that this is the 37s now. You're going to see a couple outlying areas in the lower mid 30s here, but those are few and far between areas. The main batch of the cold air is still all the way back here. All right. It is pushing this way, northwest to southeast. Go back here, northwest to southeast. The front is basically going to come like this, and area of low pressure is going to ride along the front. So now the question becomes, and pardon me as I'm smoking my cigar for the evening. If you're a cigar smoker, this is a very good stick. Johnny Tobacco Nut. I got it on cigarfederation.com, and it is a special order. Anyway, we have southwest winds at the surface with the front. We have northwest winds behind the front, which normally leads to an area of convergence in this area ahead of the front, which leads to upward rising motion, which leads to precipitation. So I'm going to go here. We're going to try to look at this. See these yellows, dark yellows? That's area of up here you can see moisture in the atmosphere. This is the current water vapor. We're going to go back here and we will go to the enhanced infrared satellite. And let me do so. Of course, never wants to work for me. All right, here we go. Of course, you have the Appalachian spine here, which is the reason why you don't see much convergence going on, because the air goes up, comes down, and then goes back up right there. So we got the southwest flow coming from West Virginia. You have colder air coming from Michigan and upstate Pennsylvania, northwestern. And where these two converge and meet is where the snow is going to fall. So let's go to the current radar. You'll notice a general trajectory of southwest to northeast. Now, what also is occurring is notice how this is not basically moving due like that. As it's getting to this area, it's kind of getting shunted to the east. So this is going to be a rain changing the snow scenario. I want to go to the latest high resolution radar and future radar, I should say. So let's just check something out here. We're going to go to temperatures. And All right, so this model is saying that at this current time, around 43 degrees, give or take. So I'm at 41, so we're within the realm. But this would be a scenario of a degree or two making the difference. It's going to be that close. That's why it's always tricky. But let's just go along here. 41, kind of where we're at right now, which is actually, this is now that I look at it, spot on because it's 7 o'clock. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on these temperatures because they're saying it's not really going to drop all that much between now and that'll be 1 a.m., still 39. Notice this is the brunt of the Arctic air. As I go to the, well, let me just roll this along. You notice that like right around 4 o'clock in the morning is when temps start to get down to the mid 30s. So as that is going on, precipitation is riding up from the southwest. Now, the question becomes, is where do these temperatures and the precip coming up from the southwest meet? Well, modeling's all over the place. Some have it smack dab over York County, some have it south. We're just gonna have to watch it and see what goes on. But we'll roll these out. One thing that is for sure is that whatever does fall, whether it be rain and or snow, um, slushy, it's gonna freeze tomorrow afternoon. Look at these temperatures; they're not. This is 12 o'clock, you know, mid 20s and dropping. So that's something you got to keep an eye on, especially for your snowplow guys out there. Um, I don't know how much pre-salting is going to really help with the rain, but definitely a post-salt is probably going to be necessary to prevent any refreeze. But let's go to the radar here. It said this would be the future radar, and we'll go back here. So now the question really becomes is, as this is moving up, temperatures are coming in, sliding down from the northwest. So this is at 1 o'clock in the morning. And we go along here. And as we get through the evening, this HRR, which is a rapid refresh model update, it will begin to pick up better on what's going on up in the upper atmosphere. But here you'll notice that there is some decent precip, say 2 o'clock in the morning. And see this line of pretty decent precipitation. Well, this cold air gets in here, which the modeling is not showing it right now. If it gets in here sooner, or if we can wet bulb temperature down, we can start to accumulate some snow on the ground. We're going to lose a lot, probably the first couple hours to the warm surfaces from today, and then it could start accumulating. But that is not showing that as of this moment. So you'll notice here at 9 o'clock, or excuse me, 9Z, which is 4 o'clock in the morning, starting to change over. Still have an area of heavier precip, so maybe this model is wrong. Maybe this is already snowing by now. That would be moderate to heavy snow. And then we'll got a batch of moderate to heavy snow. Say this would be 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, so sun's down, 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we have, notice how this batch of moderate snow is sinking south. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9. It's out of here by like 10 o'clock in the morning. But notice how that heavier snow is still south. So if the front gets held up and this is up here further north, which is not out of the realm of possibilities, then it's more snow. But as it stands right now, totals have been dropping all day, and they continue to drop throughout the night. There's still here a swath of the HRR of 1 to possibly 3 inches in select locations, mainly Route 30 south. So as I said, Route 30 is a demarcation line. Here was my original calls from yesterday, first call. This whole map's going to have to shift south, which I thought it was going to as I made notes here. entire map will need to be adjusted south by about 20 to 30 miles. So that indeed is the case. This blue line is coming down to Route 30, and I'm taking these percentages down from 75% down to 60%, over 4 inches down to 30%, and over 6 inches down to 10%. So the moral of the story is things have trended downwards. Tricky scenario. Saturday, which I also thought at one point in time was looking good, is probably off the table. I'm going to monitor that tonight and tomorrow as once the players get on the field, but looks like it's going to stay south. So that's it for now. So tomorrow, slushy, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Best shots of seeing any accumulations are south of Route 30. And if anything changes, I'll be in contact.